All right. Hello, hello. We are here on a Halloween evening. If we hear a doorbell, I apologize. It's my neighborhood probably trying to get some candy, but we decided to do something a little different tonight because two of our characters are not here right now, so they are going to be back next week, though. And so we're just going to do a little talking. So first up, Sam, how are you? How is life?
I'm doing pretty good. Life's a little stressful at work, but not doing too bad. I might also be in and out for trick-or-treaters, but so far so good.
Okay. Brad Pitt. He requested that I call him that. Brad, how are you? How's life?
Good. Just getting in a little bit of rest. We're all good on the stream.
Excellent. And Dan, how are you? How's life?
Doing good. Chilling here with some fried chicken and a drink.
Fried chicken. Ooh. Where'd you get it from?
What's this, like a local chain? What's it, like Bosses?
Are you still in Houston or Arizona?
Oh, I'm in El Paso on the border. I'm a hop and a skip away from New Mexico.
Okay. Nice.
White meat or dark meat? That's the real question.
Dan, white meat or dark meat?
Oh, this is unfortunately white meat.
All right. Well, we are just going to roll right into it. How about everyone roll a d20? And let's see who's going to go first. And I'll do it too. Lowest one gets it, as always. Ball sacks. Are you kidding me?
Woo!
I rolled a natural one.
It's only fair. You are the DM.
Here, I'll put this over here so you can quickly see all of our rolls. Oh, Dan's not even here yet. I'll roll for Dan.
Oh,
16. Cool. Awesome. Great. Looks like it's me.
Someone sounds a little bit.
All right, so in essence, what we are going to do is talk about how we got here. Right now, in the Rise of the Drow campaign, which is a level 1 through roughly 15 to 20 campaign setting, and we are right at the near end of the first ending. There is a second ending that I do plan on bringing you guys through, but we're here at the very end of the first ending, and how did we get here? So I will start us off with level 1 through I don't even know how many, but I'll just go a little bit. So the group started off in a town called Rybelka, and this town, Rybelka, is a northern town with. It's kind of like the last outpost. You don't go to Rybelka unless you are forced to go from the Empire, or if you're trying to escape something. And each of these individuals were either looking for something or escaping from something in their backstory, and that was later revealed later on in the campaign. So they arrive and they find that this Rybelkan town is controlled by two major factions, the Klavekians and the Vikmodir. And these Vikmodir are more of tribal people, nomads. But the ones that live in Rybelka have kind of settled down. And then the Klavekians are the individuals from the main empire, the kingdom. And there's a little bit of tension between them, but otherwise some of the Vikmodir are more altruistic than others. Some tribes are not at all, and you need to be aware of that as you come through Rybelka. The party started off, what were your first quests? You had to find the devil in the Darkwood. So the Darkwood is an area north of the Rybelka town, and you had to figure out what was causing this disturbance in one of the shops. So you head off into the woods to kind of track down what there is to see, and you track down what looks to be a werewolf, and they lead you to a cave where you fight a devil, and there's a little bit more backstory to that, where the devil was, in essence, taking revenge for his father, who was killed by the Klavekians. His father was a Vikmodir, and there was a lot of tension in that. But they returned heroes nonetheless. And then there were a few other minor quests, such as the dungeon, as well as the ship, the ghost ship. So, who would like to take the ghost ship? Sam, Brad, Dan?
I'll take it.
Okay.
I happen to get to that. We had heard that there was a ghost ship kind of meandering about Rybalka, kind of scaring off the fishermen and kind of embargoing the town from getting some food. So they were like, hey, you guys did a good job with the devil. Go figure out what's up with the ship. So we took some canoes. And we made it out to the ghost ship, and we were attacked by what we thought were ghosts, but they were just regular pirates, unfortunately. Got a bunch of money from it, and on our way back, we ended up getting attacked by a giant crab. So we killed the crab and took all of our ill-gotten loot and the crab back, and made a peace offering to the spirits of the people that the bandits had killed. Fed the town with the crab, multiple crabs that we killed, and as we were coming back, one of us saw a ghost ship, I want to remember.
Indeed. It was the way that I designed it. All that I was given as a DM was one line. That's all it was. Actually, I'm going to read it for you. But in essence, I didn't have much to work with, and it was pretty interesting. Let me get it. So so I wanted it to be a little bit Scooby-Doo-ish when I designed it, so that there's this thing haunting the area, but in reality, it's just a bunch of guys that are trying to bamboozle other individuals who, because they had access to a treasure chest in the deep waters, and they needed to figure out how to get it, but they couldn't figure that out. So they just needed to scare people away until they figured it out. But anyway, so this is the prompt that I was given. The Bone Ship, a stark white Vicmadir longship, has been spotted on Serpent Lake, only in the fog of the witching hours. The ship stalks fishing vessels and launches enormous whalebone javelins. Though it has yet to do more than chase away northward bound boats, it appears to be guarding passage toward the center of the lake. And then from there, that's where I just designed the whole thing from that 3 sentences. And then the other one, which I will let Dan take, was the Iron Mine Mystery. Strange scraping sounds from deep beneath the earth are causing tremors in the farthest reaches of the caves, and isolated miners are disappearing. When a sinkhole opens in the main chamber, it becomes clear that something is mining miners. The hole is quickly sealed, but it's only a matter of time before the problem returns. So from that, I kind of took the dungeon that I put into that section of the mine, where you had to, in essence, either close it up or go in there and figure out what is in there. And what did you discover, Dan? Do you remember that?
Yes, I don't quite remember all the details, but we discovered quite an interesting, I guess I would kind of shorthand it as a crystalline entity for all of you Star Trek fans out there.
I think you're skipping a few chapters. This was when we were in Rybalka.
Okay,
This is like 2 years ago.
Oh man, I think I'm blanking on this one, because
Mushrooms in the cave, freezing mushrooms, I think, or like freezing manure, fertilizer.
Nope, that was during Embla.
Wasn't it like a mummy?
There were skeletons in this mine. So,
Sorry,
Oh,
it has been a long time.
right.
It's been
The
like
Wraith.
it's
It
been
had the
over a
Wraith.
year. Yeah, this one had the Wraith in it. Yep.
Yeah, they had 24 hours to get in or out.
Yeah, you pretty much
Time
had
limit.
24 hours to get in or out. Go ahead, Brad. You apparently have the notes.
Sorry.
Goddamn right I do.
I'm so proud.
If you guys assign me the note taker, I mostly do my job. Well, actually, in between going into the mine and coming out of the mine, we had like a little retrospective side adventure that kind of wish didn't happen the way it shook down. But went down into the mine to find the miners, found 2 corpses and blood trail. Found a bunch of weird corpses hanging upside down. Fought some skeleton monsters. Skeleton monster, another skeleton monster. Found a corpse rug.
That's right. The rug was made out of skeletons and it tried to grab you.
Yeah. And we then had to complete a puzzle that led into a room with rushing water and a transient wall, which housed the Wraith on an altar that I don't think we were able to help him out.
Yeah.
Weren't.
I think you guys left him because he said he was being tortured by a Rakshasa.
Yeah, and we said, we're not strong enough. Good luck, buddy. And left him.
Sorry, my dude.
So Sam, do you recall this dungeon?
I do. I just don't remember the details all that much, but I do remember we were taking pretty heavy hits because we were still very squishy at that point. And then I think it took us less time to get into the dungeon and it took us forever to get out. And by the time we got back, it was like almost dark.
And do you guys remember any of the puzzles besides Brad, who wrote the excellent notes? Dan or Sam?
Sorry about the sneeze.
Tight.
No, I am still not remembering much of this.
You may have been, maybe you weren't present for this. I wonder if for some reason you just weren't there for that one. But I can look it up right now. Okay, so I'm looking at the old map that have you all in there, and I see everyone except for Dan. So
You're just picking on him, trying to make him remember something. He wasn't.
yeah, maybe he just wasn't a part of it. Let me look in. I'm gonna look at a different map and see if you were a part of that map. No, Dan was not present. I don't know where you were. I don't remember back. Maybe it was when you were finishing up school.
Maybe, or like a vacation thing or something. I don't know.
Yeah, you were just absent completely. So never mind. Sam, do you recall any of the puzzles from this?
Truthfully, off the top of my head, no. I just remember we had a difficult time with them.
All right, so this was one of the puzzles. If allowed to rest in perpetual peace, what are our more busy bodies?
Oh. Hang on.
You have it in your notes.
Undead for eternity.
Undead for eternity. And then the other one was sisters and brothers stand next to each other, their bodies in line, though they've only one spine. I am the whispering tongue between two. I part them and grant grant their wisdom to you. What am I?
Siamese twins?
Any guesses, Brad? Do you remember?
I'm checking. It's not knock, knock, knock. That's a different thing.
Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door.
Let's see. I
I
actually
did not write that one down.
All right. I believe that one had something to do with teeth and a tongue. Nope. It was the ribbon in a book. It was the ribbon in a book.
I think that one was actually. I seem to remember that one. We got pretty easily.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason.
And then there were the 4 roses and the 4 statues, and you had to figure out which rose went with which statue. And depending on the color of rose, like red roses are a symbol of love, whereas yellow is like a symbol of friendship, white is a symbol of peace, and I can't remember the others. But yeah, that was the other puzzle for that. So that was the other one that you guys went through. And then looking at... Oh, you guys also did what was it called? The Beast. Do you guys remember the Beast? Right outside of Rybalka? When you met someone's wife?
Yeah, that's what I was. That was in between.
Oh yeah.
I was in the middle of.
Was that the one where you got married and then we also got treasure?
Yes.
Like just a shit ton of treasure.
All of it was cursed.
Most
of it was cursed.
taker. I am an opportunistic curse taker. Okay.
We also did get a Prince's Ransom treasure map that we have yet to deal with, which I'm looking forward to at some point.
Yeah.
But I remember offering up to marry people for the +2 AC, and no one wanted to take it, so I had to bite my own bullet.
Now, Dan, what do you remember from Rybalka? If you're not muted, Dan.
Not a whole lot, to be honest. God. I'm also part of it's that like I'm bad with the names, so I'm like trying to. That was the city we were in before, and then.
So that was the town that you were in before. Let me show you some character handouts that might jog some memories. So, do you recall this guy? And he's on Roll20. I just posted him. Juriender the High Priest.
I remember.
Yeah, I vaguely remember him being a light boy, and me not being a fan of that part.
Yuri.
I have in my notes, Dan's character shows up at session 11, which was the morning of the Vigil of Light.
Wow, so he missed all the pre-adventures. Okay. So you started in the cathedral, Dan, if I remember. Do you remember what happened at the cathedral when they did the Vigil for Light?
If I remember, it involved bringing someone back to life.
Your memory is very poor.
No, he's technically right.
What happened?
Technically right. I grabbed the moon shard.
Oh, that was right before. That's right. Yeah, you did die.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys went through the Vigil for Light, where it was the longest night of the year, and they all huddle inside because devils and demons and beasts from the Darkwood would come out and they would attack the village. So in order to protect themselves, they all huddled in the nice warm cathedral. And so you guys joined them, and there were some disturbances. Something attacked the Griffinwind Gatherers, and you guys had to go out and check it and drag the petrified body of one of the Griffinwind Gatherers back inside. Sven was his name. And then you guys... there was an attack. Something happened where the vigil was sabotaged, and some zombies began attacking. Dan, is this ringing a bell?
Yes. Yeah.
What happens next?
I remember we rushed outside to go fight those things, and then, God, wait, no, wait. No, I feel like I'm wanting to feel like I remember it, but No, I don't remember.
Okay, that's fine. So you guys went to the top of the tower first because it was on fire. You had to put it out the fire. And then you guys rushed to the basement where Juriender had dropped the moon shard, and the moon shard had been taken. And so you guys rushed to Juriender's assist, and you were attacked by a bunch of zombies as well as a tunneling spider. And that tunneling spider made a tunnel that had since collapsed and stolen the moon shard. You saved Juriender, luckily enough. And after you guys kind of collected yourselves, you had to rush into the Darkwood. To save, there were multiple townsfolk that had been captured. So you had to rush into the Darkwood to chase after the townsfolk, the individuals who were trying to take them, as well as the moon shard that was also taken. You went through a couple adventures there. Sam, do you remember anything about rushing through the Darkwood and right before Adric's Folly?
Was that when we were basically like chasing down the Drow and they had like I'm pretty sure they had a wagon?
They did not have a wagon.
Why did I think they had a wagon?
They had a gargoyle.
We had a wagon on the way back.
Yes.
Okay, that's probably where the wagon came from. Because I'm like, I swear to God, we went into the woods and we found a wagon. Yeah, weren't we basically like just we were tracking them and hunting, like basically slewing down any drow we found and slowly collecting survivors and.
Don't think there were any survivors yet. You had to get to Adric's Folly to find the survivors. You were ambushed a few times.
Hey, you went to me or something.
I believe one of you got knocked into the river from a log getting battered at you. I think it was Laura, actually, Jeremy's character. And then, let's see. All right, so moving forward, you guys got to Adric's Folly. You attacked some of the Drow there. You escaped with multiple prisoners. You went to an estate where you made your final last stand. Do you guys remember that? Because that one was pretty dope.
Yeah, we used a cannon.
Yep, you used a cannon.
I don't know if I was there for that one.
I think you all were there because I wanted to make sure all of you were present for that.
I do remember the cannon.
Actually, yeah, I do remember the cannon.
And then, yep, good. You were saying? Brad?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Yeah. So we walked in. We were supposed to do it stealthily. Kind of botched it a little bit. Don't remember how. Definitely probably wasn't my fault. Then we ended up using a cannon. Didn't do quite enough as we thought it would, because we did get captured. And we were taken prisoner for a little while. And then eventually we managed to sneak out, cause a little bit of trouble, free everybody. Obviously ran back to the farm. One of the leaders of the Drow was trying to negotiate with us, and we said we don't negotiate with terrorists. So we fortified the house, managed to fight them all off, either killing most of them or, persuaded them to leave with their lives. And on the way back, we passed by. On the way back, we passed by 2 owl bears in a thicket, not a thicket.
Oh.
A clearing with, quote, pine needles that were not pine needles. I believe they were ribs or just bones. Maybe.
Believe it or not, I don't remember this.
But we also managed to follow the drow that we had chased off. They went into Krelgar Keep. We decided not to go in right away.
I do remember this, yes.
Wanted to get a little bit more information. It's also where we met Mia. And we had a little bit of business with the Winter Flower Festival coming up. It's festival. We don't want to miss that. Also, Alan Dorkowitz, unintelligible writing. We had revived him during the Vigil of Light to have him help us chased down the Drow, but found out he was like the weird half-human vampire magic chest seal. I don't quite remember all the details. I think he was turning into a vampire, but he had a seal that stopped him from turning into it. But when we revived him, the seal was more or less going to break and turn him into a full vampire. Managed to fix that. And I think he went off to try and negotiate with the Vicmadir to be more amiable.
Yep, he was a big asset for the Vicmadir and the Klavekian kingdom. He what brought the people together.
Yeah.
All right, what do you guys remember about the Winterflower Festival?
I think I just remember climbing the mountain and actually finding one.
Yep, this is what it looks like.
It looks like a lily.
And I'll bring that over here so everyone else can see it. And then, do you guys remember what you fought at the top of the tower? So there was a massive snow rock that would attack you guys and messed you guys up pretty badly, if I remember. Some of you had fallen and gone off the mountain, and then and you were doing it for love, of course, because one of the NPCs wanted the Winterflower for himself to give to his lover Gwendolyn, who was
Several people wanted the Winterflower to give to Gwen.
a lot of people, a lot of horny Rebelkins in this story.
Also, one very sketchy dude that offered us $5,000 for it.
Yeah, and he is yet to be dealt with, so we'll see what happens with him.
Wait, I thought we had it finished.
You beat his thugs. You never beat him. He left and left the party well before you guys returned.
Knew we should have killed him.
All right, and then you guys also made a detour to a specific underground city under the mountain, where it's an isolated city, doesn't go into the underworld, but the city of Alexander, where they have a very particular kind of rock. Sam or Dan, what does Alexandrite do? Do you recall?
It resurrects, but with a little spice, if I recall correctly.
Indeed it does. It, in essence, allows you to upcast your resurrection spells if you use the proper amount of Alexandrite. Very, very sought-after stuff. You had to bargain, but you eventually got it, and I don't know if you got any more after that, but you got a lot. Made your way back to the Winterflower Festival, had a grand old time. There was definitely some rated R stuff going on by the end of the night. I think we're all a little intoxicated and having a good time. And then after that, what happened? You guys decided to go to Krelgar Keep. Do you guys remember what happened in Krelgar Keep?
Give me a minute.
So there was a necromancer present in Krelgar Keep, and
Right. On the steps there was a chained up elf, and I think there was I want to say ghost, or maybe a regular elf. But we ended up freeing someone chained up. No.
Yep, it was the
Brother was in the keep, not chained up on the steps.
Indeed. You guys met this light elf, and you had to get her to escape, and you did. She gave you a quick blessing, and off you guys went into the Krelgar Keep. You fought a necromancer, found a few traps, a lot of traps actually, and finally defeated the necromancer, luckily enough. And you also found a way into the Ossuary Collaborative. Dan, do you remember the Ossuary Collaborative?
Not by that name, no.
That is where you met your first ally for the Drow.
Yes, the mysterious Drow. The one that we were thoroughly convinced was going to murder us.
There's still time.
Yeah, I'm not so convinced she's not.
Like at the time, we legitimately thought we were going to have to like go after her and kill her.
Yeah. So you guys met Makinga at that point, and you also learned about in essence, a circle of necromancers that kind of deliberated in this demiplane. Yule, being the one who you just killed, now left a seat open. So we'll see what happens with that. Then you guys made your way into the underworld. A few encounters just to kind of get the flavor of the underworld. I don't remember what the encounters were. I think there was a fun giant, and I think there were snails and other things. Maybe a drow and drider encounter as well. But you eventually made your way to the city of Embla. What can you guys tell me about the city of Embla? What were your first impressions when you got here?
New York City underground.
Okay. Dan, what did you think?
I was a fan of parts of the population, not a fan of other parts of the population.
Tell us more.
If I remember correctly, this is one of the first cities we showed up where there was a not completely negligible amount of Drow.
I think there were only specks of Drow in the poorest of poor sections of the city. There were no Drow like elsewhere, but you had to really search them out if you wanted to.
Okay, I might be mixing my city intros up.
So this was the trade city of the dwarves, where multiple races are welcome, of course, but it's mostly merchants that make their way through the underworld. They come to Embla as well. Brad, what did you think?
Oh, yeah, this is where I bribed that one guy to vouch for, right?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, you grabbed a guy to vouch for you, and you didn't need to, because we'd gotten a writ from Mirror's Fire.
That's right.
Like, we were all like, we're ready to go, and you're like, no, I gotta have this guy vouch for me. It's like, but we're fine. No.
So
If I remember correctly, I was trying to not be officially a part of the group, because I was trying to keep an opportunity open to go do some shady.
That is correct, yes. So you guys finally entered the city, and let's see. You learned that there were multiple different clans in the city, and you had to befriend all these different clans and make sure that you had their vote for the vote to go to war with the Drow. You guys went through a couple different trials and tribulations. So one of them was you had to go for a hunt. I believe you had to hunt down the Triceratops. And then, do you guys remember the Triceratops?
We didn't have to hunt it down. We had already killed it before we got there.
Oh.
So we
Didn't
kind
we
of
just
lucked
present
out.
its head and call it good?
Yeah.
Like I
had
feel like
fingers.
Elora just pulled the head out and set it on the table. Like, here you go.
Nice. So, yeah, that must have been done by me as the DM to make sure you guys didn't have to circle back for whatever reason. Sometimes I throw things at you like that because I'm like, I don't want them to have to go back out, travel, and roll all that.
No, I think I'm looking back at the notes. We rolled like shit. So that might have been it.
Okay.
Sympathy.
All right, so then you guys also went into the mines, the salt mines underneath the fungal farms, where you met some interesting fungi creatures, like, what do you call them? Fungal servants, I think is what we called them. Let me look them up.
And the red cap.
And the red cap mushrooms as well. And you also met the fungal abomination.
Ooh.
And in essence, it was a rot affecting this mine that was very similar to the rot that Sporolina had affecting her tribesmen or her druid circle. So Yeah, you guys learned a little bit from there, but you rid the mine and figured out what had happened with these dwarves that went down there. You also played a little bit of whatchamacallit. I can't remember what it's called. You played a little bit of War. Can't see the pop-ups on the stream? Okay. It's because I moved it. Can you do it like this way and now you can see it, Brad?
Waiting. Yet. Yes.
Got it. I didn't want to do that because I'm pretty sure we don't own the rights to that artwork, so oh well. Anyway, moving forward. So you guys gained the favor of all the different houses. You went on a few secret missions to talk with Ji, the Shadow Circle dude. Morik, I think, went to go talk with Ji. I don't remember if all of you went. Yeah, I think you all did. He was an interesting character. But then you...
Did skip something important.
What did I skip?
Someone had died.
Who? Alora?
Yes.
Well, this was when Alora died, yeah?
And we conned Mia out of his wedding ring.
That's right. That's so right. So you guys were like, oh, we'll just fucking get a diamond. It shouldn't be too hard to find.
Underground, there's a bunch of diamonds.
Mia!
Yeah, and then you ask Mia, and Mia was in front of his wife, and he goes, well, I guess I could give you my wedding ring. And Ree was like, I hope you guys feel like shit. And I think you actually had a diamond. You just didn't want to spend the money on it. So you had a diamond yourself. You just didn't want to use it. You wanted to use someone else's money. And
we didn't. As far as I knew at the time, we did not have a diamond.
You did. You had Alexandrite.
I don't think we knew that it could be used that way. We didn't like identify it or anything. Like we were just like, ooh, shiny rock.
Okay. Well,
Bummer. Now I feel even worse.
Yeah, no, I do remember the moral rant, I'm gonna call it, that Sporalina gave us.
We did return the ring though.
Yes, you did.
Mirrors saved our bacon.
So you guys finally got to the Druid Circle, the Merchant Circle, and they had a meeting. They discussed it. You also, I forgot, the Greybeards. You needed to get his vote. He was the last of the Greybeards who passed away. And I believe one of you saw a very particular creature take the Greybeard away. I think it was Elora.
Reaper.
It was the Grim Reaper. It was Thenariel. In essence, the god of death. And you guys also met him later on in the campaign as well. But you did the Merchant Circle. They voted. They agreed. And as soon as they agreed, there was an attack. Do you guys remember the attack, Sam?
Vaguely. Not very well, if I'm going to be honest.
Okay. There was an assassination attempt.
But I could not remember who the assassination attempt was for. Was it for the sun?
It was for all of the Merchant Circle.
Oh yes. Actually, I do remember this. And most of them died.
Yep, but I think you also were going to revivify a lot of them, and I think only one of them was not revivified.
Yes,
Yeah,
I actually do remember that now. Sorry.
Yeah, botched that roll.
You're jogging the memories.
Mm-hmm. And then...
I think he was the only one who ended up actually dying. I think we got the rest of them.
Yep, you did. But there was also something about the poison that was used that made it impossible to get his soul back. In this manner, at least. All right, and then, let's see. You guys decided to rally, and Embla became under attack, I believe, at this point. And you had to go through the back road. And escape through the back road, and you met an interesting character at the lake. Who did you meet, Brad?
Yeah, Brad.
I played the fifth.
Sam, do you remember, or Dan, do you remember what Brad's character did to plead with this individual?
Abso-fucking-lutely I do.
Tell
They
the
were,
audience.
My brother was about to go down on this dwarf, I think. Was it a dwarf or some kind of like halfling?
It was a
person?
halfling. Yeah, gnome.
Okay, yeah. He was like just about ready to bang this guy, and then he turns into a motherfucking dragon.
Mm-hmm.
A dragon. By an underwater lake. It was not fun.
It was great because
It was great for us, but like retrospectively, this was a great moment in our story. At the time, I think everyone wanted to murder you, including the dragon.
Yeah, he did.
Dan, do you remember this?
Yes, I do.
See, I help out by keeping things memorable,
Good job.
negatively
I'm
or
proud of you.
positively. Mostly negatively.
I mean, you do provide us a lot of humor.
All right.
Expense of my characters.
So you guys made your way through the Lake of the Underworld. There were a few more random encounters, and then you had the option to head south towards Haloth or north to Vethin's Hold, or I think this is where you could have gone to Juriender. Do you guys remember where you went to from there?
Was that when we decided to go to Sporalina's parents?
I think that was way
Is that
later.
later?
Way
Okay.
later, yeah. Brad, what do your notes say?
We're skipping pages at a time, my man. Oh, no, not Juriander, Jormgard.
Jormgard! Oh my gosh. I know.
I think we headed to Vethin's Hold first. Yes, we went to Vethin's Hold first.
Okay.
Because when we didn't know about Jormgard at the time.
That's
when we went
right.
to Vethin's Hold, found the creepy guy and the lady who was trying to get us to go to Jormgard, being like, "Oh, there's a bunch of cool stuff, and it's like an adventurers club." It was not an adventurers club.
Now, do you guys remember Vethin's Hold and what was there, Dan? Believe you're muted.
I remember some bad thing, if I'm remembering correctly, happened there. I'm trying to. Is this that part where we got trapped in that other plane, or was that?
That was
side of that thing?
That was Jormgard.
Oh, okay.
So Vethin's Hold was in essence, the lawless town or city where there was a restaurant where they would skin your enemy in front of you, and you could eat them alive, literally in front of them. And then there was the blood pit, where you guys can fight and bet on who will kill who. And I believe you guys challenged someone. Do you remember who this individual was?
Jorgoth Groat.
Jorgoth Groat.
I tried to get him to wear Karme's hat. It would have killed him instantly.
That's right. Yep.
And he crushed it with his bare hands.
Do you guys remember during the Blood Pit battle, it was Elora and who else? Kurtz?
Yeah.
Do you guys
Originally, it was supposed to be one-on-one.
Yeah. Do you guys remember what Jorgoth Groat did within the first few rounds?
Yeah. Decapitation.
Decapitation of who?
Sure as fuck wasn't Kurtz.
So
that was when we learned Elora did not need a head.
Yep. So he decapitated Elora, and so guys, when I designed this encounter, I obviously knew Elora could survive without a head. So I gave him a Vorpal sword, or great axe, I don't remember what it was, and I was like, I hope that I roll a natural 20 on Elora, because if we do, it's going to be a really cool roleplay moment, and honestly, couldn't have happened better. And all I remember is Sporalina saying, she doesn't need her head, you bitch! You stupid bitch. That's right. That's what Sporlita said. But yeah, so that was a good time. Let's see. You chased down Jorgoth, fought him in the blood pits. He tried to escape. You guys said no. He wouldn't die. He literally would not die. And you guys had to figure out a way to put him to sleep, I think. And then he instantly died. But that was a really...
Also,
Yep.
had a retainer with him who was a demigod bard.
Yep. There was an individual bard that was kind of a slave to Jorgoth at the time. But yeah, it was the way that I designed that encounter was we've been playing for a long time, and I'm always thinking like, okay, this is just a thing of hit points and a thing of cool moves, and then they're gonna die. But I was like, I can do better. We can figure out something cooler to do. So that's where I came up with Jorgoth, who was a barbarian who would rage beyond death and wouldn't die, and then you guys would have to figure it out. And I really liked that idea. It was always fun for me to watch you guys try to solve it.
Well, thanks, Jesse. I hated it.
You're welcome. That's what I'm here for.
A lot of fun.
All right, what is your next memory after Vethin's Hold?
Oh, God, that's a strong drink. Holy shit.
What you drinking?
Iron Butterfly.
The hell is that?
It's wonderful if you get the proportions right. It's like Kahlua, Bailey's, and vodka.
It's like a White Russian?
But it's better than a White Russian, because White Russians use heavy cream or half and half. This has more alcohol in it.
Very nice.
And it's really strong. I didn't think I made it that strong. Holy shit.
Dan, are you drinking anything? How's your fried chicken?
Good. I'm drinking a little bit of lime and water mixed with some Texas grapefruit vodka.
Nice.
That sounds actually really good.
Very refreshing.
It's really good if it's sold anywhere around you. It's very good for the money. It's called Noble, and it's made in Denton.
Brad?
And yes, the unflavored stuff still does taste vaguely fruity, just...
Okay. Brad, are you drinking anything or eating anything?
I am drinking a Belgian ale. It's called Golden Drac. It is from Belgium, and it is very good. And it keeps exploding when I open the bottle.
That's how you know it's good.
Well, I mean, it's the 10% beer, so...
10%? Whoa!
Listen, I'm a big man. I need strong drink.
All right. So then you guys left and you went to Jormungand. What do you remember about Jormungand, Dan?
We did not go to Jormungand next.
No, what the fuck?
We went to Stoneholm.
Stoneholm. Yep. You went to Stoneholm to see what had happened and how did Embla escape Stoneholm, I believe. And is that where you met your father?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Well, beat him ass.
Sam, tell us what happened.
I went and punched my dad in the face. Not my real dad. This dad.
And why?
Because he basically said, I'm coming home with him to become marriage proposal material. And I didn't like that.
I mean, you gotta
None of us like that.
Gotta get money in the coffers.
Bitch, I can make my own money in my coffers. And we didn't like that, so we fought him. And then he ran off, like the coward he is.
Indeed, he did. And then after Stoneholm,
Jesse, I don't want to spoil. Is he dead? Did he get like killed on his way out?
You don't know. His
You
fate
really thought you were gonna get an answer like
is
that?
undetermined.
Well, I imagine they ran into the Drow because they knew our last name to trick us in a lot.
Yeah, but they probably
So-
could have done that in a few different places. Maybe. I don't know.
I don't like the smile, Jesse.
I know how to predict Jesse's devious little ways.
Am I gonna find out that the bastard dad that I hate is hanging out with people that I hate the most?
Could be. Maybe he really needs the money.
Perhaps.
All I see is SpongeBob and Patrick. Write that down. Write that down. As I'm like quickly making notes. All right. So then after Stoneholm, you guys left, and what brought you back to? Did you go to Jormungand from there?
Yes, we just went to Stoneholm to like make sure everyone was safe, check in on people, see what was up. More pissed in a beer vat.
Okay, interesting.
Oh no! While we were in Embla, Morgan. Okay.
Oh
That-
yes, I remember this. I remember this. Oh god, I remember this part.
Yeah.
I think there was
Oh,
a war tournament. Or is that right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's when we first played. Mork took offense to something and went to go take a bathroom break.
Take a piss, and he pissed in the beer.
Maybe.
Yeah, and then we dropped everybody else off and went with the demigod guy to Jormungand because he was like, "There's something there I need." So we were led astray.
So you guys went to Jormungand, discovered some interesting things. It was like a kind of a mystery. You were told one thing about it, and when you got there, it was very different. One of you, the leader of Jormungand, took a very big interest in, and if I remember, that was Dan's character, Kalor.
Wait. Is this the mushroom girl that liked how I smelled, or is this the other weird girl that liked that I smelled like a corpse?
Neither.
That's
This
right.
was the dude in Jormungand that lured you away from your party and then tried to kill you because he became a dragon.
Oh, see, for some reason I was like blurring that together with the other human not dragon thing, and those two got all blurred together in my head. I remember that, and then I got stuck inside this like alternate dimension inside the dragon, I think.
Yep.
And I can't even remember how I got saved and out of that place.
So you guys fought an ancient dragon.
Void. It was a void. Dragon.
Void dragon. That's right. An ancient void
yes,
dragon.
This is our TPK.
And this is when you had a TPK. You all died, and you all went to the void plane. It was a plane of existence that was, in essence, degrading everything as you guys were there. You guys like kind of emerged from bones and sand, and you had to go on a quest. And that was when you met Makinga's great grandmother, Palihamu, and she was. I really like her character. Designing her. She's just such a fun lady that she always talks about rattling other people's bones. You know. It's just I don't know.
I
She
liked her a lot.
and
I don't know why she reminds me of like Sophie from Howl's Moving Castle.
I don't see her as Sophie at all.
Oh no, just like the like ooh like her like trying to scare Markle into thinking like, oh yes, I'm the worst witch. I'm the kind that like I don't know.
Hmm.
Sorry, just watched a bunch of Ghibli movies last.
Nothing wrong with
yesterday.
that. Just don't watch the what is that? Fireflies? Grave of the.
Oh no, I stay clear of that one. I saw it once
Mhm.
and that was enough.
Yep, that's all you need.
Not
No.
bad.
It was
Oh,
amazing, but it was
traumatizing.
so many emotions.
It's traumatizing.
Too many emotions. Emotions
Oh,
you didn't know you had just come up. But anywho, so yeah, Palihamu, and she also had this wonderful crush on Thanariel, Ooh, that man, he's so luscious. Anywho, so designing her was a lot of fun. Because, like, she's just a fun character. Like, she has no stake in anything. So, like, how would she react to a bunch of people? Like, she doesn't care. She's just hanging out. She's living her life. You know, she's already seen 1,000 lifetimes. So, like, you know, that was why I built her character around just, like, not giving a fuck and being a horny old lady.
Go her.
But
Really wants a boner, huh?
You go, girl.
so you guys were led to you had to do a task in the void, and if you defeated these kinds of like witches or hag like creatures, Thanariel would have an audience with you, and you could convince him to send you back. You met Thanariel, and do you recall what he told you all?
Give me a minute.
Good God. Sorry, upstairs dog's having the zoomies. At least I think that's theirs.
Ew.
Yep.
We owe him something.
Yes, you do.
Ooh. Glad we're having this because I'm remembering a bunch of stuff that maybe it's a good thing, not a good thing we forgot.
So what do you owe them?
Owe him a favor.
Owe him a favor.
What's the favor?
You don't know yet,
Don't know.
Well, shit.
but you'll find out.
Well, fuck.
I have in parentheses, this probably will be fine.
Give me 1 minute, guys. I just...
Trick-or-treaters? Okay, she has trick-or-treaters or she's going to poop. Either one. Alright, so let's explore that. Dan, what would you say Thanariel, the god of death, would want as a favor? What do you think? You're muted.
Oh. That could be. Wait, is this any better?
Yep, you're good. You're good.
All right. I think it could be a few things. There's always the classic, just killing people. What might be something to do with stopping someone from doing some resurrecting of people and stealing the souls that the god of death wants. And then after thinking about that, that gets me wondering, well, a few of us have died and come back. I hope that's not what's on the bargain.
And one of us revived a bunch of people and pissed off a certain other god of death. You knew.
Sorry, I'm writing down all the things that you're saying so that I can have ideas. So, Brad, what do you think that the god of death would want?
I might want one of us to be in his service, maybe.
Alright, don't know.
You know,
what the-
prospective
Who's out?
scouting for maybe future avatar.
Why not all of you? Who says you
Some
can
of
only
us
have
put up more
one?
of a fight. Well, one of us is already dead, so I don't know how much that's going to help.
It's true.
And, you know,
She's
god of
only
death and a
mostly
fungus.
dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know how well a god of death can take over a fungus.
You'd be
And,
shocked.
I don't know. I think one of us is good enough for him.
Or, I mean, I feel like the default would be the guy that summons a darkness demon hound of death. Either that or the necromancer.
Now, hang on. The dragon in Jormgard
Mhm.
wanted Kaelor because he had, quote, untapped potential.
Indeed.
Hey, Kaelor.
Yeah.
Not looking
Am I
for
gonna
you, buddy.
become Death Incarnate? Because if so, that might be really bad for a certain species.
Maybe.
Taylor, no.
There's always a chance. So Sam, we were saying, what do you think? What do you think the god of death would want with you guys. So you guys made a deal with him, and he sent you back to life.
No. Hopefully, a splendid tea party to entertain him, as none of his minions have ever entertained him before.
All right.
I don't want to know what his request is.
I'll write that one down, and we'll see if it makes the cut.
Just want some
Okay.
friends.
He's just a little lonely man.
He has polyhamu for that.
Wait. Do they want us to help them hook up with this other god of death? Is that what it is?
More?
Maybe. It's a good idea. All right, let's write that down.
We reach level 20 and become matchmakers.
Hey,
Screw the adventure.
that'd be pretty good. So, in all true honesty, me as a DM, I'm thinking about how do I get you guys to level 20 and above, and Thanariel was going to be that linkage, at least for the start. I don't know how far we'll get with Thanariel, but he was going to be the way that you get to higher levels and get to a different world, potentially. Not potentially, definitely, because I need to get you guys into my world that I homebrewed. All right, so after you guys left Jormgard and you found yourself back in time, actually, Thanariel sent you back in time, and for the record, it was actually in the book that the Void Dragon, the Ancient Void Dragon, was supposed to TPK you, and it was also in the book that was the Pale Bleak Void was where you're supposed to go to like figure out how to get there. And when I messaged the writers of Rise of the Drow book, they were like, "That's exactly what we wanted. That's perfect." They were super excited that it in essence like happened exactly how they imagined it to happen in the actual game. Because the Pale Bleak Void was meant for as like if you would have died at Adric's Folly or in Kelgar Keep or in Embla or wherever, to just, instead of stopping the whole adventure and starting over, to introduce the Pale Bleak Void, and then you would go back in time and kind of redo your thing after doing that trial in there. But we never got to that point, except when you guys faced the Ancient Void Dragon. So I thought that was very interesting that you guys still followed that to the T. Good job.
Go us.
Yeah, we really moonwalked into it.
You did.
We were so confident. We were so fucking confident.
You were actually.
Well, it doesn't help when someone thinks that they're, a cult's goody boy and gets us into that scenario. I feel like all my brothers actually got us, royally screwed over by dragons.
Yeah, it's always a dragon. What the fuck?
Why?
And it's always in a dungeon, too. Like, come on.
Cinna, the next one's gonna be a dragon for you, I guess.
No, it's just the boys. It's just the boys. I've got my own dragon.
Who's your dragon?
Laura, come on.
Should I turn Alora into a dragon?
Fuck, that would be
No,
amazing.
that's a bad idea. That's a bad idea.
Oh my god.
And she can't control her powers.
Piss off, Jesse.
I like it. Let me write this down.
Actually, that'd be a good way.
Jesse.
That would be a pretty good way to get rid of Barry.
No.
I need to get rid of Barry.
Why would you say such a thing?
I like how
Barry was a mistake.
Wait,
Brad.
Well, no. Wait, can we? If we're gonna have something happen, can we get like a baby Groot version of Barry, like a baby Barry?
No, even better. Skitter becomes the new Barry.
Skitter. Oh god, the hand.
Skitter.
Yeah,
We stick Skitter
hand
on the
axe.
new Barry.
There we go.
Oh
We
god.
do have the mechanics for pets, so we could end up with a baby Barry.
That is true. And that's probably what I should have.
Adorable.
That's honestly what I should have. I should have made Barry instead. Yeah, pets. Barry a pet. Pets are really difficult to DM because it's like how much is too much, and I very much went overboard with Barry.
But you love
And very
Barry. Deep down inside.
very
you know you
underwent
do.
on the necklace.
Plus, if we get a baby Barry, if we time it right, we might be able to get him to ride into battle on Brimstone.
Oh my god! I need to make fan art of this.
Brad, you mentioned the necklace. Are you talking about your necklace?
Yeah.
You saying that I
Alright.
underpowered it?
Well, it is now, but not when it was created. Like now, it's like DC 14. That ain't gonna fly.
Oh, it doesn't follow your spell save DC?
No.
Oh, well, let it follow your spell save DC. It's a new change. There you go.
Okay, yeah, I'll put that in.
Okay.
Also, the Tricenator, that thing is busted. The reckless attack that goes up to 3 times. That's insane.
What? It's not actually. It's like an action surge. That's kind of what I based it off of.
Yeah,
Action.
I don't get accent surges.
No, I know, but
But-
I just kind of
yeah.
stole it from them.
Well, I mean, it's insane for a cleric because I get the extra. I think it's 2d8 of automatic radiant damage when I hit.
Yeah.
So I love it.
Yeah, I like bringing you all up, so that's how I designed. Sporolina already was pretty powerful with her caps, that multiplication, which I don't think was what the writers intended. I think they meant it to be like 5d6, not 5 times 6, or something like that. So anyway, neither here nor there. Ree wanted it. I gave it to her because I'm a pushover. But I wanted to give you guys more power, so I gave Kaylor the book that has a bunch of cool stuff in it. Gave Brad the necklace. Gave Barry to Elora, and then I wanted to give Cinna. I wanted to give you more maneuvers and stuff, as well as there's bard hymns that you could do. But you said it may have been a little bit too complicated, and you didn't want to test it out just yet. The offer's always there, Cinna. Just so you know.
It's just one of those things where it's like I have found that I am not as much of a spellcaster as I thought I was because I go to the same 5 that I always use, and that's okay.
That is totally fine.
But I am more of a melee fighter.
Hey, that's
We'll see. Maybe in level later levels when I'm yeah, no, this is totally fine. I've got my shit together, which clearly I don't yet. But we're getting there.
Yeah, honestly, it's just you just gotta read the spells that you have access to and just think of how can I apply this to what happened in our game, and a lot of studying. Legitimately, it is a lot of studying.
Yeah, and it sucks because it's I will admit I don't really have the mental capacity throughout the week to just sit down and look at D&D stuff until right before on Monday night while I'm eating dinner, and it's oh shit, I hate this so much. But
there was I'm sure you guys know who Joe Cat is. He did the crap guide to D&D, and there was one scene where it goes, but then I have to roll initiatives for my pets, and having to memorize one extra thing is way too much. Isn't that right, Dungeon Master? And it's the Dungeon Master's
piss off.
because the amount of shit that I have to do is just enormous in comparison to the players. No offense to you, Sen. I did not mean that in an offensive way. I just was
no, no, you're totally fine.
Whereas,
I just there's a bunch of shit outside of D&D that I deal with, so it's
Different kind of person.
yeah, and for me,
yes,
I'm
no, I'd like to say it takes a different level of insanity to be a DM.
It's true. Very true. I am definitely one of those people that reads way too much D&D, and all I do is think about D&D all the time.
But that's okay, because that's what makes you an awesome DM.
Thank you. All right, let's continue on. So after Jormungand, where did you guys head to after that? I even don't remember.
The whole city.
The which one?
City?
Ahul.
Ahul. That's right.
Gor Hashad.
Gor Hashad. And you guys met the Ahul, and you went on the moss ropes on the ceiling cavern, and you were tasked with a quest for them to get their alliance to join you in the fight to Holoth. Do you remember what that was?
To run off the Vidir.
To run off the Vidir. Who are the Vidir, Dan?
The Vidir. Oh, wait, am I mixing up the names again? Are these the crystalline ones?
These are the crystalline ones. Indeed, they are.
Okay, yeah.
The ones that kept the pigs,
They kept the pigs?
like pig-looking things.
Here, let me...
No. Oh no, I missed this session. That's why I'm so that's why I'm so lost. I missed this session.
It's
And then
okay.
it's the next session that the... Yep, I missed this one.
And then, let me find, I think it's under G for Grand Vidir. There we go. And then you guys also saw these boys, too.
So many... Are those eyes?
Indeed they are.
Ooh, lovely. Little biblical angels, aren't you?
Yep,
Mhm.
yep. You know, they get to have some fun where you get to have your cool one of us moment. They stab you with crystals, kinda, sorta, and then you start growing more crystals.
And I think that happened to Morik, right?
Unbeknownst to us. At the time.
Mm-hmm.
I remember like somehow I at least like partially had cued in on the hive mind thing. I think I might have just had a hunch there was something going on from like an insight check.
Yep.
Yeah.
Indeed. So you guys met them and realized that they they hate the Drow. They are really pissed at the Drow, and they revealed to you finally something called the Verdifact. Do you remember what the Verdifact does?
Soul vacuum.
Soul vacuum. So in essence, you would harvest souls, and the way the Verdifact was supposed to happen was it's supposed to harvest souls, and half of them were supposed to go to the Vidir, whereas the other half would go to Neronius / Maelora. Maelora figured out a way to bypass that and send all of the souls to her and Neronius. The Vidir were not happy. They were not happy at all. And so they are very much upset with the Drow and want the Verdifact back. And there's some important information there. So then you were able to grab... Oh, you found the Vavor. The Ahul come to join you, and you convince them that the Vidir are cool. You just leave them alone. They'll leave you alone. And then they decided to slaughter said Vavor. Sporalina had communicated with the Vavor, and they said that they were trapped down here. They just wanted to escape and get back to the fungal forest. And they were slaughtered by the Ahul. And this was me being a dick. I knew that I just wanted to do conflict and just stir up some trouble. And Ree was pissed. She was like, "I hate you, Jesse. I want to attack them, but they're good allies."
Jesse, how dare you?
I know, devil's advocate.
I remember I was my moral qualms were quelled after I heard about their hatred for the Drow.
Yep. So then, after the Vidir and the Ahul, where did you guys head to? I think it was the fungal. Nope, Forlorn first. Do you guys recall what happened in Forlorn?
I have a note that says Kaler starts a race riot.
Oh yeah, that's when I incited all those dwarves to do a
Say it.
some extrajudicial activities.
Say it.
And by extrajudicial activities, I meant I reminded them about all of them being refugees and some old racial tensions, and threw in a few slurs, and I was like, "Hey, you guys want to go lynch some Drow?" And they were like, "Yes, we do." And then I kind of scattered after that, if I remember correctly.
For the record, anyone listening to this, we are all very open-minded and not racist at all. This is a fantasy game. The characters can be racist, but the individuals, us as people, are not. But
My character has PTSD and is working through issues in a very non-healthy way.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
So then you guys made it to Forlorn, where you guys met some very messed up, disease-ridden drow from a specific house. Do you recall what house that was?
Nope.
Before that, we killed a Gullion.
This was when you met Guy Loof.
Yes.
So the way... Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no, you were probably going to get to it.
The way that I designed him was, in essence, a monk. But I think I made him way too easy for you guys, and I should have given him more legendary actions and more beefiness.
No, you
You
absolutely
down
should
to
not
me like
have.
3 times in that fight.
You absolutely should not fucking make him any different. He was perfect the way he was, Jesse.
I was hoping to at least kill one of you.
Piss
Got
off.
close. You got real close.
Alright, so yeah, you guys killed Guy Loof Gullion and took his head, which Elora popped onto her body. And then you went to Forlorn, where you found the remnants of House Frasian, the ostracized house, the banished house, the second house of Haloth. And apparently the druid, who is their leader, the matron mother, had offended Maelora, and Maelora, in essence, went on a rage and pretty much destroyed the entire house. And so they had to escape with nothing but their lives. They were infected by some sort of a fungi / alien-like thing, and you guys defeated or banished some sort of a seed that was found. And yeah, you guys then made your way to the fungal forest. Do you guys remember the fungal forest and what happened there?
Yeah, Sparling Circle has some real assholes.
Dan, what do you remember?
Oh, there was quite a bit. Let's see. There was some general assholery towards her and her kin, and there was a very stuck-up person that was from the Fancy Pants family, whose leader had unilaterally had decided to solve a problem that ended up just kind of making things worse. And we had to kind of kick down the door, and then we had to hold hands and, well, some bad things while we were holding hands trying to complete the ritual to stop the bad things that the dumb leader had made worse.
So,
His parents died.
Yeah, Sporalina's parents died. Honestly, I couldn't have wished for a better...
One
It's off,
right
Jesse.
after
That
the
was
other
so
two.
mean.
That was like...
It was perfect.
It
It
doesn't matter if it was
wasn't-
perfect. It was awful.
It was very dramatic.
It was
If it-
horrible. I felt so bad for Ree.
If we weren't using Roll20, I could have sworn you were using loaded dice on that. Because it was like,
Perfect.
Mom's dead. All right, next round. Hopefully it's one of us. Boom, Dad's dead.
Dad's dead.
It's like, ooh, oh no. But we did bring him back, I think. Pretty sure.
Yes, you did. And I'm trying to find that artwork. I can't remember where they put it. Jeremy put it somewhere, but it's probably lost in a chat somewhere. But they commissioned artwork for it, and it was beautiful. And it was Sporalina crying and say, "We must not break the circle." And it was just a good moment.
Where was I?
This was a while back. I can't find. I'm sure if we messaged Jeremy or Ree, they would send it, but I can't remember if it was in our text chat or if it was in Discord. But we'll find it eventually.
It must have been in Discord.
It was exactly 10 weeks ago. No.
10 weeks? No, that's way too.
Well, 12 sessions. So like half a year, probably.
Jesus.
12 sessions. That's only like 3 months, 4 months.
We haven't had
Fine,
a
a
session.
quarter of a year. Sorry.
This year we've been a little bit wonky with our scheduling. So I'm overestimating.
Do you have timestamps and date stamps on your notes?
No.
Next
It
time.
is on YouTube. It's on YouTube.
Yeah, that's
with
true.
the date.
All right.
That's why we did it.
So then you guys got to the fungal forest. You defeated said seed. You got Sporalina's druid circle back in order. You guys went to the innards of the fungal forest. You met some other druids of a different faction, and you were tasked with solving some of the local what do you call it? They were fighting local fighters. Local drama. There we go. That's probably the best word for it. Where a succubus and a Ifriti were doing some things that were not aligned with the druid circle, but these druids were like savages. They would infect you. And Kalor met or saw one of his companions that he let explode.
Yep. I did. It was
Are you proud of yourself?
no. But it was kind of a fitting end. We committed more than a few what some might call war crimes together.
Use the witnesses. Gotta cut off loose ends.
But yeah, so you guys sided with those druid circle, and you solved a few things, faced down a titan that you, I guess, were able to harvest. Hi, love. You're on the air. Everyone say hi to Erin.
Hi, Aaron.
Hello.
She can't hear you, but they say hi. Anyway, so let's see. So then you guys got out of said crevice and got onto the opposite side of the ravine of the fungal forest, and you made your way through Haloth. What was your first impression of Haloth when you first entered the City of Spiders?
Absolutely fucking not.
Burn this bitch to the ground.
Dan?
You tried.
You're muted.
I don't remember what else there would be after that.
So, what did you think of the city? I tried to describe it in the best way, where there's this
Okay.
massive stalagmite in the middle, which is Tolgorth
Oh.
Tower.
There's lots of creepy spider theme. Generally, it's the exact kind of hellscape that my character would expect Drow to build. The only thing he likes about it is it's not particularly bright.
It's true. Let's see. So, if you guys, not your characters, if you guys visited Haloth, do you think you'd like it?
Absolutely fucking not.
Why not, Sam?
No fucking way, because I'm not like a huge fan of. I don't know. It's weird. I like to be on top of the earth, not underneath it. Kind of like how I don't like being in the ocean. I like being on land. Just no.
So even in
sure
this
it's
mega
fun.
cavern where like the ceiling is probably like hundreds and hundreds of feet above you and you can't even see it.
Is there a light source?
Yeah, there are mushrooms giving off light. So when you look up at the cavern, you can see like little specks of light. And it kind of looks like stars from the distance that you're at.
If it must, I guess they better have really good food
Okay.
or drinks or hospitality. God damn it, I don't want to be here.
Hey, if you have money.
Yeah, I think it would be kind of
Much.
fun.
I'm a poor millennial. I got something, but not much.
Brad, what do you think?
I think it'd be kick-ass. Are you kidding me?
What would you
It's like-
do?
Okay.
Honestly, I'd probably just walk around and look at everything. Because it would just be so alien. Like, obviously, there would be a lot of like familiarity to medieval cities, but not a whole lot of medieval cities underground in a huge.
Fair point. Genuine
Cavern.
question. Are the giant spiders, do they at least look like jumping spiders, or do they look more like huntsman spiders?
Let me look at that. So giant spider. This guy.
You know what? Maybe I wouldn't like it so much.
Unfortunately, you look like a huntsman spider. I don't like you as much. If you looked like a jumping spider, we'd be on good terms.
There was
There is
also
a tourist, or would we be there as whatever?
Ugh.
that's also the phase spider. You guys met a lot of
Yeah,
spiders.
Phase spider doesn't bug me as much. The other one was a little meh.
If I could get to ride a spider, that would be pretty baller.
What would that feel like though? Because I'm used to like horse gaits. I don't know what 8 legs would be like. Shadow spiders look like the giant ones in Kentucky in the horse stalls. I don't like tunnel spiders. Those scare me.
Yeah, they have kind of a cartoonish look to them.
Mm-hmm.
And they look like they could just like chomp at you instead of like having pincers. It looks like they could just bite at you.
Yeah. No thanks.
But yeah, so those would be the typical spiders that you would see in Haloth. So you guys get to Haloth, and I believe you head straight for a specific house and to see what there is there in Elora's backstory to try and connect with the individuals there. You faced off against some adamantine and mithril golems. You were trapped, and you found this house was full of like statues of different humanoids and things. So they apparently were petrifying individuals and taking them as prisoner and as trophies, which I think is really cool. Let's see, and then what happened with the matron of that house? Do you remember?
I was not there for that.
Didn't we avoid her and accidentally ended up finding the daughter and her like little servant instead?
You did meet the daughter and her servant, but then afterwards you did meet the matron, and Elora rolled a natural 20 on a persuasion check. Do you remember what she persuaded? Balls.
That we were weren't we like wasn't she still using the head of Gyloof?
Indeed.
And that she was Gyloof and that she needed to go down to the catacombs? Or the treasure room or
This was
something?
after the treasure room.
Oh. I might not have been there for that then.
Dan, do you remember?
No, I'm not. Wait, jog my memory on this. I know I'm close to remembering this.
So you guys fought the adamantine and mithril golems. You guys met Elora's mother, and you also found the matron. And in essence, Elora said, "Hey, let me use your head, and if I use your head, I can get in."
Yeah, and I still can't believe we talked her to that.
I put a DC on it of like a 25, and the only way that Elora would have gotten it was with a nat 20, and she got it, and I was like, well, I guess that entire combat that I just planned is out the window, so... So that, yeah, no combat happened. She allowed Elora to take her head, and she trusts Elora to put her head back and resurrect them after they are done, and... yeah, that's what's gonna happen.
Didn't Elora's mom take her body though?
Yes, took the body and I think the head as well.
Also, I still have a burning question from that.
Yeah.
I vaguely remember a joke about there being a Kurtz poster in the daughter's bedroom. Is that canon? Can I take that poster?
Oh.
Because I kind of want that poster.
It is now. It's canon now.
Oh, fuck.
That
Why?
raises
Why would
even
you
more
give that to
questions,
him?
but I love it.
So I think
that
the way that I described this girl's bedroom, she's over 18. That was first thing that I specified, and it's like a 90s girls with like boy band posters on the wall, and I think Ree was like, what if it's a poster of like Kurtz? And
Yeah, because I cast Fast Friends
yep.
to get them to cooperate and get inside Barry.
Yep. So, canon. They now have a poster of Kurtz. You have to go back and get it though.
Oh god.
Part of the normal looting experience.
Oh yeah, and then I remember some more stuff happened after we got that girl to take us down to the tunnel, and if I remember correctly, I at least for the moment managed to convince her that we definitely didn't kill her grandpa.
Even though you completely did.
Yeah.
Murdered that
We
dude.
tried to cooperate with him.
And then we threatened her friend that did see it into not telling her anything.
It's true. You scarred that poor girl. All right, so then
Now hang on. If they
Yeah.
had a poster, if they had a poster of Kurtz has done some fucked up stuff.
What's your point?
Debatable, untraumatized.
I don't know. There's dreaming about Jeffrey Dahmer, and there's meeting
I was
Jeffrey
gonna
Dahmer.
say-
You know what?
I was
Yeah,
gonna
that's a good
say,
point. Yeah,
that was
that's a really
actually
good
just
point.
what I was going to say.
So you guys eventually left House Uvain, and so then where did you guys head to after that? I think you head to an inn, and you had sexy time.
Wait, didn't we stop by the slave pits because we thought we heard our family's last name?
I think
there?
that was
Was
that was
that
after?
after?
You guys had sexy time at the inn.
Okay.
Yes, because that's how we learned that House Torbane members had, quote, been captured.
Okay, because I'm like, I very distinctly remember House Torbane being mentioned and then going to the pits and not seeing anyone that we recognized and then leaving.
Mm-hmm. You did see Miris Firebrand, though. Do you remember seeing her? And you also released all these prisoners upon the city by... Do you remember what you did to the Tyrannosaurus Rexes?
Damn
Or
right I do.
didn't we just let them loose?
You, in essence...
Three of them. We let 3 of them loose. One of them.
I wasn't there for that, but I do distinctly remember you guys just letting loose
You
Tyrannosaurus Rexes.
you charmed one, and then you miniaturized and basically hucked them like Pokeballs.
Wait, I did?
I don't remember who miniaturized them, but I remember we miniaturized 2 of them and threw them like Pokeballs over the wall, and then miniaturization spell went away, and they went on a rampage, and then the other one we had like mind controlled, fast friended into fighting the other guys.
Okay, because I wasn't there for this, but I don't have miniaturize.
I don't.
Orlina.
I wasn't you that cast it. I couldn't remember which of us did it.
Okay,
but-
okay. I
Orlina
just wanted to make sure
polymorph.
because like I don't have this.
Orlina polymorphed one into a mouse. And then Kurtz used a crossbow to shoot the mouse into the city. And then Orlina fast-friended the other 3 and was like, hey, there's a bunch of tasty morsels on the other side of the wall. Go get it.
Go get him, buddy.
Mm-hmm. And...
God.
You know, like...
Chaos.
When you go to DM school, the first thing they teach you is always expect the unexpected. I can tell you, I was not expecting any of this shit.
Good, we're keeping you on your toes.
But you released all the prisoners, and they, in essence, caused a lot of chaos on the city. And at that moment, you realize that this chaos is perfect for trying to enter the temple And so you guys entered the Temple of Neronius. You guys ascended the stairs. I believe there was a trap that you had to avoid. And then, what do you remember from the Temple of Neronius going through that? Pretty recent. Dan?
Remember the book golem?
The book golem, of course. Can't forget the book golem.
Our favorite friend.
Oh god, that was a thing. All right, so we had book golem. Okay, and then we'd already covered. I think it was after. Right?
Wait.
Was it?
We hit the illusion. I don't remember her name exactly, but we hit an illusion of like this spider drow, who we were thoroughly convinced was a real person, but she wasn't. Thank God.
And
Right.
Alora just spilled all of the plans without thinking that it could not possibly be an enemy.
It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Her name was
Yeah, just
Talanthina.
Thank
how's
you.
that going to turn out for us, by the way?
Doesn't matter.
Ready?
We're fine. We're alive.
Bad, yeah.
It was
We're
19. So, anyway, you guys went through the Temple of Neronius, and you found some gems that would open up the altar behind the altar. Once you put all these gems in the constellation, it would open it up, and you would be able to enter Tolgoroth Tower from there. As soon as you got onto the steps towards Tolgoroth Tower, what then happened?
We triggered every trap in the tower.
Not quite.
Almost.
You were actually guarded by something.
Objects given to us by Makinga way back in the early part of the campaign. They like floated up and made us just invisible, or was it a couple other things like invisible and
Invisible
was-
or immune?
pretty much pass without a trace us.
It made you invisible and silenced so that they couldn't hear you as well. And it in essence guarded you from anything that the temple would have thrown at you for a time. And then you made your way down to Makinga's dungeon. And what did you learn from Makinga from there?
We need to go on a scavenger hunt.
For a lot of really random things.
They're not random.
We definitely didn't
Well-
sell something.
For the most part, they're kind of if you gave this list to a random person, they would think it's random.
What is the linking factor between all of them, Sam?
Good question.
They are all items from the House of Gallian. Owned by the Gallians.
And it will enable a certain ritual to... No, not the ritual to last longer. The aftermath of we get to live long enough to get out before.
I was gonna say, wasn't it the more that we had, the better chance that we would survive?
Indeed. And the more that you give to her, and it doesn't necessarily have to be any Gallian stuff. She actually said it could be any magic item, but the Gallians would help significantly more. In essence, a little behind the curtains, for every item you give, you get X amount of time extra to GTFO out of the tower if you get the Veered effect to be destroyed. And when the Veered effect gets destroyed, so does the tower. And we're going to do some Ocarina of Time madness where you need to get out at a certain point. And if you don't, well, tower comes down on you, and that's the end of your story.
Roll new characters.
Roll new characters.
If I remember correctly,
Do such a thing.
one of us has teleport.
And do you
does.
recall, not to metagame or anything, but do you recall what I said when you entered the Temple of Neronius? That a silence washes over you as if you do not hear anything outside of this temple as soon as you walk in, as if there is some enchantment in the area?
Bummer.
Yeah.
Stop, Dusty.
Somebody thought of the teleport spell.
Of course.
Well,
Please.
Good thing I have my magical fart powers.
That's true. That actually could save you pretty good. If you still have that spell slot by the end.
Yeah.
Got it. I will burn all of my spell slots, so no one else has to use theirs.
So then who's going to res you guys?
Or Alina.
Oh, shit, yeah. That's right.
The big brain moment.
All right, so you guys exit Makinga's dungeon, and you face off against Sorgolian and all of his little minions that he has tamed. And at this time, you are besieging the tower, going up it one layer at a time. I believe you're on the second level out of 6. And yeah, you don't have to explore everything. You do not have to explore everything. You can just go straight to the top if you wanted. It just goes in a circle all the way through with the stairs. So there's nothing stopping you from just going straight to Melora.
Yeah, but where's the fun in that? We gotta loot the tower before it collapses.
Also, long rest, or at least a short rest.
You will definitely not get any more long rests, period.
It's not that safe.
So, you decide what you want to do. And you met Palihamu, who was there just hanging out, and she was talking with no one that you could see. And I always love coming up with lines for her, but anyway. So yeah, I want to know, Sam, what are your overall impressions of this campaign so far? Just in comparison to the other campaigns that we've ran so far, what would you say that you like, dislike, and just overall impressions? What do you think?
Well, considering this is only the second full campaign I've been a part of with this group specifically, there's a lot more political, I would say, I don't want to say espionage, but espionage involved than previous ones, at least from my perspective. But I think it's way more interesting storyline-wise, and I think it'll be very interesting to see how this ending comes around.
Now, Sam, you were with us for Princes of the Apocalypse, weren't you?
I was only with you for, I think, the last half.
Okay.
Because I joined your group at like level 14 or so, I think.
Really? That late?
Yeah, I was late. It was a
we
late
also
introduction.
cruised. We also cruised through it.
Wow.
Yeah. That was a late introduction to your guys' group on Princes of the Apocalypse.
Okay.
So for that, like, I don't really count that one as like a true like campaign because I wasn't there for the full like portion of it. That was kind of my more introduction to this group and into online D&D. So comparing this to the last campaign, this is way more politically invested to me. But it's a very interesting aspect of D&D that I think like emphasizes more on the storytelling than it does on the fighting and just the overall like physical concept of D&D versus like the political and mental part of D&D that you don't like always see in every campaign.
Yeah, a lot of role play.
So it's a very
lot of role play.
Yeah, it's a lot more role play than the last campaign was, but I think it's a very interesting aspect, especially for a character that I didn't put as much background information into as like some of my other ones, so it was kind of nice to be able to let that organically grow into whatever it was going to become.
Yeah. Now, what do you not like about it, Cinna?
The fact that I wasn't taking as good of notes.
Discovered by today's interview.
Yep, that one was on me. But going forward, I think it'll be very interesting to see how interactions with characters of the past, especially past interactions with like with characters from way back to Ravelka and closer to where we are in the story, it'll be kind of interesting to see the aftermath and to see where the relationships lie in that aspect.
Brad, you were gonna say something?
Technically, this is our 4th campaign, as our last set of characters went through 2. We went through Curse of Strahd and Rise of Tiamat.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, but I'm still counting that as the same campaign.
Because it's
Yeah,
same
same
characters
characters.
through levels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did we end on level 20?
I think we did. I think
Yeah.
we ended on level 20 and we finished that campaign as level 20. I don't think we ever went past 20.
Okay. Yeah.
And I think Rise of the Drow went to level 12. Then we went to level 18 with Rise of Tiamat.
You mean
And
Curse of
then-
Strahd first?
Yeah.
Really? I
Yeah.
thought we went to 20 with Tiamat.
No, because we had a little bit of extracurriculars at the end.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
And so, Brad, what do you think of Rise of the Drow so far as an adventure campaign? As a player, what are you feeling?
I'm a sucker for politics, so I've been enjoying that very much.
Wow, I'm not shocked by that at all.
I do enjoy it, and I really kind of screwed myself by not playing a charismatic character. But, it's whatever. But I do enjoy it. Like, there's one thing I wish they could do. I don't know. Most D&D characters spend most of their time above ground.
Mm-hmm.
Like, occasionally you go into dungeons and you're under there, but like, in game, like we've been in like a massive cave system for like 6 months.
Yep.
Like at some point, that's gonna have some kind of toll on you. Like dwarves, drow, all the other creatures is like, yeah, this is normal. This is how we live. But like, Are they-
Humans.
yeah, humans are honestly just like D&D adventurers. Like, at some point you're gonna be like, I want to see the fucking sun. I want to go home. This is
I
some
need the
bullshit.
vitamin D, man.
I think my character's actually been enjoying the lack of sun. But I'm a shadow sorcerer, so
So,
So I think
yeah, go ahead, Brad.
I think it would be kind of interesting to lean into that a little bit, but I very much like this campaign. It's also dummy expansive. I think it covers a lot of, like, it has a lot of good opportunities to do what you want to do. Like sometimes, like campaigns are a little bit on the rails. It's like
Mhm.
A, B, C, but like here it's like, all right, here's step A, and then here's step D. Figure out how you get from one to the other.
Yep.
It's
It-
a little more open-ended.
It's very sandboxy. That is very, very true. It is. Reading the book, that is what it is. It shows me, the DM, this is what this location is. This is what this location is. Connecting the two, good luck.
Have fun.
When they get there, this could happen, or when they get there, this could happen. Whether you're, at that stage or not, you figure it out yourself. So it was definitely a lot different than, like, say, Curse of Strahd or Rise of Tiamat. That was very railroady. Curse of Strahd less so. Definitely, I was not a fan of Rise of Tiamat. I did not enjoy that as a DM at all. But Curse of Strahd was one of my favorites because it was also sort of sandboxy, where it just said, this is this location. If they come here, might happen, but, it's up to you to figure that out. Dan.
Honestly, a lot of it's like kind of the same. I've been enjoying a lot more of like the intrigue and the like dynamics and the kind of allies of convenience and all that kind of stuff with all these things. Also thought the kind of like, I don't know, I like that there's like a lot of like players like having the whole oh god, I keep on what's the name of the crystalline entity people again that I keep
Vidir.
on calling them? The Vindir, and then you have like the different factions in the Drow, and like and then we have some people that kind of want to fight but they need some talking into it, and all that kinds of stuff. Also, I've been enjoying the less punches pulled going on with this whole campaign that's been happening with like the close people dying and all that kind of stuff going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've told you guys before, I hate killing characters. I really do. Jesse gets so attached to, like, Cinna, Kurtz, Kalar, Sporlina, Elora, and it's like, if I kill you, one, all the backstory that I, like, have planned for you and all the things that you guys wrote and all the things that I've read is gone. So that's, like, another thing that I just hate doing.
Yeah.
But at the same time...
I give you permission.
I know you
Kill.
give me permission. I know.
Do it.
But at the same time, I've also told you, when it comes to the final battle or major battles, I don't hold anything back because you're at the end. So, like, this is your story.
I like that.
Moments of, oh shit, I just killed them.
Have I ever done that?
Like, do you ever have moments of, oh shit, that might have killed them?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I was, like... killing Elora back in, way back then, I did not plan on killing her. It just happened. I think it was like a natural 20 that killed her, actually. But, like, it's just the way the dice roll, and I was like, well, fuck. Well, they'll figure it out. They have diamonds. Or Mia's diamond, I should say. Dan, you were going to say something?
Oh yeah, no, I mean just like that whole dynamic, and I feel like just because like there's always that push and pull if you don't want to ruin the story, but then if it doesn't feel on the table enough, then like the tension isn't quite there,
Mm-hmm.
And it's definitely as we've been getting towards the end, I've been feeling more of that, which is keeping things interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, again, it's one of those things as a DM. I want to challenge you, but, like, I also have infinite power. I could throw 5 ancient black dragons at you at once, but, like, that's not fun. So, like,
Oh, yeah.
I need to balance it enough so that it's stressful, but you could still succeed. And then but the first time that I've ever done this was giving you an encounter that you cannot win, and that was the Ancient Void Dragon. But I knew you were going to die, but I knew that I had something beyond that to do something. And if you didn't die, that would have been, like, I wasn't expecting you to not die, so what would have that looked like? So that would have been, like, the opposite of what I usually have as a problem of trying not to kill you guys. But anyway, so, as we get closer to the end, I'm not holding back. You guys have had your story. You guys have had your ups and downs. It's time to nut up or shut up. All right. Oh, we have a visitor. You are muted, Elora. I wonder if she knows she's muted. We will wait.
Honey!
Someone just messaged us. Still in the car. Oh, they're listening. Okay, just listening in. So anyway, guys, as we were saying, Elora is by far the person that I will be focusing on during the final battle. She has to go down, at least within this first or second round. Kill her first. That is the goal. And then Cinna
You
just...
say that as a joke, but that is a legitimate strategy.
Actually, they actually do provide strategies, and they usually, like, for instance, like Strahd, when we played Curse of Strahd, it would say, go after, if there is a mage or wizard, a sorcerer, go after them first. And Strahd knows this, because Strahd can just fly away from the fighter, so who gives a fuck about the fire? But a wizard, Strahd will always go after the wizard first. And it's similar for this book, like they give you tactics of who would Maelora go after, and what would she do? And so I'll follow those pretty well. But anyway, so you guys told me, what you thought of this campaign so far. So now let's think about the future. So obviously this campaign is going to end one way or another. And we have all decided that we would like to go into the epic levels. Now I know, Cinna, you said you don't like complexities, you don't like it, but it's going to get complex, real fast. How are you guys feeling about epic levels higher than level 20? We'll start with Sam.
I think given the time to prepare, it'll be really fun. It's going to be obviously way more involved than like your regular 1 through 20 level campaign, but I think it will be one that tests me as a player because I'm not usually one who plays to level 20 plus.
Mm-hmm.
So this is my first level 20 plus. So it'll be very interesting to see how well I handle that as a player and as a character.
Now, would you want to stay as Cinemoira, or do you think you'd want to switch to like back to Seraphang, who is more of a fighter archer?
My instinct is to say go back to Seraphang, but I feel like if I want to evolve as a player, I need to stick with Cinemoira.
Oh, so you want to challenge yourself?
Yes, I do want to challenge myself.
I'm proud of you, Sam.
Thank you.
I'll kill you last. All right. Brad, how are you feeling about epic levels?
I'm excited. I really like the higher level stuff in D&D just because I think it's a little bit more. I mean, it's obviously very interesting to go from 1 to 20, but whenever you get to 20, it's like, all right, we're done with the campaign. You got to level 20, woohoo. You don't really get to use a lot of that, cool stuff you get. And I don't know. Like, obviously, at some point in D&D, like, you don't necessarily have to be level 20 to be, like, extremely powerful. But I kind of like the aspect of having to deal with issues, like, more or less as a demigod. Because, like, early in the campaign, you're doing, like, mundane stuff. Like, stuff normal people would do. But as you go on, it's like, do we deal with this small thing? Because we can, and it'll be easy. But should we leave it to somebody else? Because why would we bother doing this and just focus on the good stuff?
I think there's always a fun aspect of that with that. And then also, you can play with unintended consequences.
Yeah, because at level 20 plus, like, we're getting close to gods. And it's not like, the normal, what people think of God, as in, like, Christian, Jewish God, whatever, or all-knowing. Like, we're human gods. We're gonna fuck up.
Yep.
And I say this as a sister, but humble yourself.
Me?
And that there's always the fun aspect of being able to play with. There's always a bigger fish in inter-god politics, which I feel like we're kind of getting a hint at right now.
Both of you.
So yeah, what you're saying, Brad, about like you'll be human gods. When I designed my homebrew world, I kind of was inspired from like Greek gods, where they're just a bunch of family, just that are like a dysfunctional family, and that's kind of how I organized them with that. So that's in essence what I would like to have from this epic level campaign that we're gonna go on eventually. Dan, did you say, like, are you looking forward to? Are you excited for it? What are you looking forward to the most?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I definitely need to take a peek of what we're going to be using sooner rather than later, because otherwise I know I'll procrastinate on it.
Yep, that is definitely true.
Do we already have all that all selected?
Yeah, we're using the Epic Legacy, and I will send you that email again if you need it. But it is a PDF book, and I will send you that book as well. I will be right back. I'm going to go use the restroom, but Brad or whoever would like to continue hosting.
Well, he said me first, so I guess I have to take.
Alright, we're gonna level up.
Yep.
Brad, what's going to be the first thing on your to-do list as a demigod?
Honestly, it depends who I play as. Because I still
Play as Rip-Rap. That would be hilarious.
He's dead.
But he
also
came back. Jesus came back.
He's not Jesus.
He's a demigod.
He's very much not Jesus. But no, I don't know. I feel like I kind of did all I wanted to with Prep Rep, and
That's
something
fair.
special about preserving a first character that you actually finished. But I don't know. That is a good point.
That's fair.
I don't know. If it's Kurtz, definitely take out some anger on some peons. You know? And what about you? And do you know which character you're going to use going forward?
I'm depending. Most likely, I am planning on going forward with our current edgelord. Hopefully, we can y'all can try to help me shoehorn in him getting less racist before he ascends to godhood.
God, I hope so.
So if you ever y'all see an opportunity, push for that, and we can make some RP happen. And
Maybe we'll have a revelation and realize, like, Drow in their own right have a reason to be what they are, but it may not be the same reason why you believe that they are.
well, because really, I think the main concept is that I did a bunch of espionage stuff, and I saw like the worst of the worst stuff that like the Drow upper echelon does in this, like, you know, with all the slaving and the backstabbing and the dark magical stuff, and then like he basically just concluded, oh, just Drow are like this.
Fair point.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe as he gets to see some more of the, you know, poor unwashed masses Drow, he might slowly start to be like, wait, maybe only ruler Drow bad. But yeah, no. Outside of all that, I think there could be some interesting, fun thing with seeing what a shadow sorcerer becomes as a demigod.
God, Brad, why would you ever bring up such a subject?
I like that combo.
Oh, that would be a scary combo.
What?
Modib and Diov.
Oh yeah.
Oh
I
God.
mean, like, it would be very interesting initially, but I feel like it would be terrifying in actual practice.
It would make Jesse's life hell.
Oh my God. So if you guys haven't already read the book, Epic Legacy, your hero's handbook, there is a section that I will be emphasizing heavily, and it is called Spellcasting Etiquette 101. And it's things like, you as a level 20 wizard will have access to the wish spell and other very powerful things like simulacrum and things like that. Don't fuck with your DM because it will fuck everything up. It's just like how to not be a dick.
What, listen, what was that? I don't want to know.
This
the
is
answer.
mostly
What was
directed
I-
to Diop.
Yeah, I was gonna say I wasn't too bad.
No. Jeremy just loves to figure out the crazy things, and of course I let him, but like he always messages me, is like, can I do this? And I'm like, oh God, fuck. Okay, yeah, you could do that.
This seems like a reasonable request.
Yeah, what's the subtext to this? What's the reading between the lines here? But anyway, so yeah, I don't know if I've discussed this with you guys yet, but I have two other groups that I play D&D with. But you guys are obviously the best ones. Don't worry about that. But we did a one-shot, so I designed a one-shot for level 25 character party, and it was the Halloween one-shot that I wanted to run. And I did it two different ways. I did the first group online. It was purely online. They're from Philadelphia. And then I did the second group in person. And something about high-level... of course, in person is the best way to play, in my opinion. It's wonderful.
Agreed.
But when it came to exploration and roleplay, it was all great. Everything was excellent. Both groups did wonderful. They explored, they discovered, and it was excellent. When it came to battle, holy hell, I will never run an in-person game at that high of a level because it was a slog. Whereas for us, online play, you click a button and it rolls all the fancy dice for you, and then you have your number and you go with it. Whereas in person, oh my God, it took forever. It may have also been the fact that these were relatively newer players and they weren't used to playing that high of level, and maybe they just didn't study their character sheets as much as I wanted them to. I don't know, but there's definitely you definitely need to know your character sheet and know what you're going to do every single turn. For one of the characters, I made a what if statement document. So how do I get the max healing for a single player? How do I get the max healing for all the players in one turn? How do I do a basic turn with, not using, only using cantrips? How do I do a basic turn using my most powerful spells? How do I get the most damage out of one turn or 2 turns and something like that? So that was, and then I just wrote down what you do. You move to this location within so many feet, use your bonus action for this, use your action for this, and then hold on to your butt. And it actually worked out really well for that one character that I wrote it for, but everyone else, they didn't do that statement thing, and they slowed down a lot. So just word to the wise, maybe if you can, make a statement like that, a document that will help you to direct yourself during those combat scenarios for high-level play. All right. So, let's see. What else we got?
So what was your favorite moment of the campaign?
My favorite moment? Ooh, that's a good question. I really love when I get a good reaction out of all of you guys. And either when I can make you laugh or when I can make you, go, holy shit, or whatever. I love those moments. I think when Carme turned into a dragon in front of Kurtz, that was one of the biggest oh shit moments from Kurtz and from all of you. And it was pure and it was fantastic, and I cherish that memory. What else? When Jorgoth wouldn't die, that one was also fun. You guys were like, something is fucking up. Something is happening here. Why isn't he dying? And I thought that was a lot of fun. When the Void Dragon came in and you were like, we're all fucked. that was a lot of fun.
Honestly, that was probably my favorite moment, was the TPK of we're not going to survive this.
Yep. So yeah, moments like that where I surprise you or we all laugh about something. Those are definitely my favorite moments when it's something memorable and you guys weren't expecting it or something like that. So, yeah, I would say that. And then, so yeah, we covered epic level characters. What we're gonna do. We covered what we've done so far in the Rise of the Drow and what's in front of us still. And then what we're going to be doing for epic levels. And I think now, do you guys want to look over the War card game PDF? Or do you just want to call it a night? I'm totally fine with either one. Sam, it's all you. It's your decision.
Oh man, it's all up to me. How complicated are the rules? Because I have not had time to look at it at all. I saw the bits flying around in it, but I've not seen the rules.
Even though I said Sam, I will still take Dan's opinion too.
Oh, I thought you said Dan there. All right.
All right.
Hit with either or, by the way.
Let's see. So, can you? How? So you'd? Let's see. How do I do this? I'm trying to think.
Wouldn't you build a deck and then you play?
So I sent you all an email. So how about you open up that email document, and I'm gonna post it on to our stream as well. So let me, as you guys open that document, let me just say a few words about it. So this is the War card game. And see you later, Jer. Thank you for joining us. This is the War card game. So why did I invent this game? I had actually bought something that had artwork for it, and they were these tokens, and they were more cartoony than something. They weren't something that I'd want to use in the game. Not saying that they were bad art, it was just not the style I was going for. But I still bought this artwork, all these different tokens, and I was like, how do I use these tokens in a meaningful way that I can actually get? Because I hate spending money and not using something. So I decided to make a card game out of it. And the first iteration of this card game was very basic. It was just, stats, and it was like the game War when you play cards. So how you play War is you just flip a card over, and if you're the higher card than your opponent, you win the round and you collect it. And I wanted something similar to that, something like a Gwent in the Witcher games, where it's within a game within the game. It's simple, it's fast, and it's fun, and you can collect cards. So how to play? In essence, you just draw 4 or 6 or 8 cards from your 20 card deck, and depending on how quick of a game that you actually want to play. You flip a coin to determine who goes first. The opposite round, the opposite player goes first. You place a card down that you believe will win. Once both cards are shown, you may place an item card at this time, following turn order. Unless otherwise specified, you can use a special ability from the card. And then you roll a d10 for the environment, which will add or subtract modifiers to your base attack. Whichever card has the higher attack modifier at the end of the round wins, and that's pretty simple. So it's pretty much rock, paper, scissors, best out of 4 or 6 or 8. And then, every time that you use something that you need to draw a card, you will draw a card. It's pretty intuitive, I think. It's just a basic rock, paper, scissors kind of game. So as I scroll down, there are a lot of different item cards. You have empowerment for specific cards. So if you have an empowerment for aberration, and you play an aberration card, it will give you a +5. And then you have empowerment for multitude. So if you have a empowerment beast, monstrosities, and plants, it will give them all +3s. And then you also have environment cards, so it will force the environment to be a specific environment that round. Then you have like super cards, which would be like resurrection, deific power, and dispel. But anyway, you start your deck by rolling on the general tables. You will probably have to use a random number generator. So in essence, you have to roll a 1d, 139. I know it's a random number. It's because it's the amount of SRD monsters that Wizards of the Coast published. Because all of these monsters are able to be used without legal repercussions, and that's why I use them. Do I want to bring it down to like 100 so it's an easy roll? Of course, but Google has a random number generator, and you just click 1 to 139, and then it works. So it's not perfect, obviously, but I just did it because it had all of those, and I wanted to use all of them. But in essence, this is your deck now, and you can see you have 3 tiers of dragon, a high tier, a medium tier, and a low tier, and then you have 2 item cards, and the rest are creatures. And then you can have other additional cards off to the side that you can swap in and out between plays, or not between plays, between duels, I guess you would call them. And so we have, for instance, the Aboleth. It is a large aberration. Its base attack is 12, and depending on what environment is rolled, it will get pluses or minuses, and you can use any of these special abilities, only one, unless it says otherwise. But you can use a tentacle roll, and a tentacle is you roll a d6, and on a 1 or 2, you only gain a +1. On a 3 and a 4, you gain a +2, and on a 5 and a 6, you gain a +4. The entire point behind this, I try to make every single card have something like this, where a tentacle roll, you roll a d6, and no matter what, you will get a plus. There's very low stakes to it. It's just a basic plus, and then you're good to go. But I also want to give something that will give you an immense roll, like Psychic Penetration. Roll a d20. Between a 7 and 14, gain a +1, so a meh return. And on a 15 or higher, you gain a +8, a much better return. And the way that I did these odds, it works out. But in essence, it's you want to risk it for the biscuit or just stay safe and use a tentacle attack. Either one is fine. But then I wanted a third ability for every single card, every single one of these cards, and I wanted it to be special to the lore of that creature. And that's where Enslave comes in. So if you read the actual Aboleth stat block, you will see it has this kind of ability. But in essence, you roll a d20. On a 7 or higher, the opponent's card is yours for the round if you choose. That card replaces the Aboleth this round. The opponent may draw a card and play a new card from their hand. So that could be a really cool thing. So you face down an ancient something dragon, an ancient red dragon, which is significantly more powerful, well, even if you roll a +8, you might still lose. So you just use the enslave ability, and there's a chance that you could actually use it to your advantage. And that is the kind of idea that I wanted behind the third ability to be special to each card. But yeah, so that's the basic premise of the game. It's rock, paper, scissors. You place down a card and kind of see what happens. But yeah, so Sam, first impressions, what do you think? Samantha? Are you muted? Brad, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Did you make any major changes since the last time we played?
Major changes would be I added a third ability to every single one. So that would be the major change, as well as I cleaned up the wording a lot. So that's not a major change, but it's just to be a little bit more straightforward whenever you're reading through it. I think I added a few more item cards as well. I added the empowerment, like the 3 empowerments: beasts, monstrosities, and plants, or demons and devils, or dragons and elementals, giants and humanoids, celestials, undead, etc. So I added those to be just an added environment or an added empowerment, because people, like, you might want to specialize in all undead or all oozes or all monstrosities or whatever. But what if you find a really good, demon card? You don't want to throw it away and not use it. So what if you made a demon and devils deck instead? Or what if you made a beast, monstrosities, and plants deck instead? And so you can like gear it to whatever you want to do in that particular deck that you want to build. But yeah, I don't think I really changed too much. The rules are pretty much all the same. Dan, what do you think?
I'm not sure that I'm entirely getting it, but it sounds like an interesting deck building game.
All right, so how about this? Dan,
Yeah.
go ahead and roll a D139. So go to Google and just type in 139 or a random number generator.
Wait, not in D20?
No, you have to go to Google, because unless you can do it, and can you do it in Roll20?
Yes, you can.
It should. I think, as far as I know, it should just let you do any dice number that you decide to type in there.
Like an advanced dice roller.
Hey, have at it.
Okay, it was 129
139, yeah.
/R D139. That's not the button I wanted. Yeah. /R. Yeah.
/roll D139, and yeah.
All right, perfect. So, Kaylor, you get number 24, which is a Bone Devil, and Kurt, you get number 21, which is a Berserker. Go ahead and Control F on the PDF so you can find your respective things, Bone Devil and Berserker, and go ahead and just go to those stat blocks. So we're gonna play a round, and you're gonna use those two. It shouldn't take long. So those two cards. So Bone Devil, what is your base attack, Kaylor?
Mine is.
You're gonna smoke me.
Where? Nope, that's not the part that I'm looking for. Come on, going. Bone Devil. My base attack is a.
Oh, that's bad.
Is it a / or /?
Slash has to go before the roll.
So that's a 2. So that's a Arctic Tundra C, which is a modifier of a 0.
Hold on. Before you roll that, I was just asking what your base attack is.
Oh, base attack. Oh, that's 10. Okay.
All right, 10.
My eyes scrolled right past that part.
Not a problem. And then for you, Brad, what's your Berserker at?
5.
5. Base attack 5. All right. Go ahead and each of you roll a d20. Highest one goes first. Oof. All right, Curtsy Boy, you are going first. You're obviously going to play this card no matter what, and then he plays that card no matter what. So now you get to choose. Don't have any item cards, of course, because we're just going to pretend like you didn't draw one. But what special ability would you like to use?
Yeah, I'm going for Reckless.
All right, Reckless.
I have to.
After this round, regardless of the outcome, push a card aside. All your human cards all gain +5. However, they cannot utilize their special abilities, excluding passive abilities. Cool.
Oh shit! Right. Yeah, I'm gonna use Rage.
I mean, this is one round, so I would recommend just use Reckless.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so you use Reckless. Go ahead and roll a d20, and we will see what you get. A 13. You get a +1.
Yeah.
All right. So in essence, you're gonna lose no matter what, unless does the Bone Devil have any negatives? Positive plane of existence would be a -3, which would bring it down to a 7. So pretty much nothing you could do would benefit it. All right. So in essence, the Bone Devil would win that round, right? But of course, you'd have a hand of around 4, 6, or 8 cards. So you could choose. I want to choose a high card now and a low card later, and you could strategize that way. So Dan, after that, we would roll a d10 to determine environment, but it doesn't matter. The environment, negative plane of existence, the Bone Devil would win. Period, hands down. And then that would be the end of that round. So now, how about Samantha? Go ahead and roll a 139, D139, and Kaylor do the same thing. And we'll choose 2 other cards.
All right.
So you can also do /R instead of /roll for d20.
Does there need to be a space?
No,
Yeah.
no space.
I didn't
So-
know that.
Not getting anything.
So it's /R space D139.
What?
Gotta hate myself.
88. All right. So we look at the chart, and we can see that, let's see, you chose 115. That is Shambling Mound, Kaylor. So go ahead and look up Shambling Mound. As for Cinnamora, you got Knight. Go ahead and click on the Knight. Or Control F on the PDF and just go to Knight. And then same with Kaylor, Shambling Mound.
All right.
Both of you roll a d20. Let's determine who goes first.
All right. Have you thought about putting this in Tabletop Simulator?
No, not even for a second.
Have you ever played a round of Tabletop Simulator?
I have not, but I think I know what it is. You can play chess, Monopoly, and other things.
Yeah, I've never built a game from scratch in there, but as far as the general usability of it, it's pretty nice. You can use it to automate a lot of stuff.
Okay.
Also, you can try out a lot of board games that are kind of copies of actual board games that people uploaded onto there.
Of course.
You're telling me I can pirate Risk?
So
I'm telling yes, and Catan, and every other board game you've seen in the game store that you've never played.
So what I'm actually working on right now is just play testing, obviously, right now, and then trying to figure out how to print these, and I want to send each of you a deck or two.
Yeah.
It would be really shitty index cards, but still.
Well, because that would probably be the easiest way to play test and play together. Because I need to check what the price is now, but it's really cheap. It's $15 or something like that.
Yeah. All right, so Cinna, you can go first. What is the Shambling Mound's base attack for Kaylor?
I thought I got a knight.
Yeah, you did. I'm asking Kaylor what his base attack is for the
My
Shambling
base
Mound.
attack is 8.
So you see his base attack is 8. Your base attack is 6. It's not bad. You can either go short sword on a d6. You roll a 1 or 2 or 3, or a 5 or a 6, And if you roll a 5 or a 6, you also are allowed to roll on the longsword ability. Or you can recruit. Roll a d20 on a 7 or higher. You take out a knight card from your deck and your hand, pick up a new card, and place it next to this card. The base attack and all modifiers are additive. The knight may utilize its special ability. So, which move would you like to go? You got a few options here.
We'll do the recruit.
Ooh, roll a d20. Looks like you recruited. You are now at a base of 12. What would the second knight want to do?
Probably do the short sword.
All right, roll a d6. A 4, that is a +2, so you're at 14. So, Kaylor, you see that the knights are at a 14. What are you doing?
Oh, God. So I am... Sorry. Itching my nose really quick. Alright, so... Seeing as they have that, well, a slam just ain't gonna do it. I could ambush them, and let me finish reading. What size is this opposing creature?
Medium.
All right.
Wow. All right.
So
Hold on.
We're gonna.
Hold on. So the first one recruited, and the second one used its longsword or short sword, whatever it was. So the first one is only giving a +6. The other one is giving a +8. You can swallow one of those cards. Obviously, I assume you're going to choose the +8. So that's all that's left is the +6. But I feel like there's.
Okay. So it's. Okay. So it's. So I'd have to. So like the other actions are creating new cards, or.
Yeah. She created a second card on the field. So I did not foresee this, by the way. I had no idea this was going to happen, but I love it, and I kind of wanted to make it a random chance. So above a 50, you're going for the one that's a. Nope. First, roll a d20. Let's see if you swallow anyone. Let's just see if you can even do it.
All right. Let's see. We're
7
gonna
or
try
higher.
and swallow one of them.
7 or higher. One of them is swallowed. Go ahead and give me a d100. Above a 50, you get the one that's a +8. Below a 50, you get the one that's a +6. You get the one that's a +8, which brings the total amount down to 6. Great. It is now Shambling Mound 8, and Knight is 6. Now, Cinemura, roll a d10 to determine the environment, and this could make or break both of you. A 5 is open meadow/rocklands. How does the Knight fare?
Neutral.
Neutral?
Mm-hmm.
Shambling Mound?
Neutral.
Shambling Mound wins that round. But, like, that's the kind of complexities that I wanted out of this game. But, like, you know, you could play this game really fast. Like, each round can go exceedingly fast. All right, let's do one more. Brad, go ahead and roll a card. And then let's have Cinna roll another card. Roll a 139.
God damn
88.
it.
Roll another one.
So, Jesse, if I may put in a little bit of input on this game.
Of course, that's what this is for.
There is like one thing, like I definitely see the advantage of having the environment be selected as a D10, but I think another potential option that could be evolved for some interesting interaction would be that if there is a, like, at the beginning of each battle round, there is a deck with all of the different playing cards that is drawn from, and then, like, whenever that's drawn, you're like, okay, we're fighting in this. And that would allow you to, one, not have to roll the d10 and then check on the list, but also you could basically, like, create some abilities or interaction cards that allow you to, like, say, remove some of a certain environment or possibly add some of a certain environment to the deck.
So would the environment last for the whole 4 rounds or 6 rounds or 8 rounds?
Well, it would be for each round. You would pull a new
see.
environment, but then basically you would have the environment deck. Once the environment deck's tapped, you reshuffle it and do it in. But you could have say you start with 2 of each, but then there might be some abilities that let you remove one of a certain card or add one of a certain card.
Okay.
For long form games, yeah, that would be pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
Stack the deck in your favor a little bit more, a little bit of strategy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, using it might mean you're going to lose this round, but gives you a better chance in the later rounds.
Okay. Okay, sounds good. Well, first off, so Curtsy Boy, you have a vampire spawn, and Cinna, you have a white. All right. Go ahead and roll a d20 and see who goes first. Highest one gets it.
That's canted.
That looks a little cocked. Yep, Cinna goes first. Cinna, what is your base attack?
Base attack is 5.
And what is yours?
7.
7. All right, Cinna, what special ability would you like to use as a white?
I am going to use United Dead.
All right.
Or United Dead.
Go ahead and roll a d20. That is a 15. Another white card comes out of your deck. And this would only work if you had a second white card in your deck, right? So if you didn't have a second white card in your deck, this entire special ability would be useless. So for now, we'll say you do have it. So your base attack is now a 5. What does the second one do?
Second one's gonna do Life Drain.
All right. 4. So plus 2, you have a 12. I'm seeing a lot of deja vu. All right. And as for the vampire spawn, you're at, what is it? What do you want to do?
I'm feeling lucky, punk. Going with claw. I'm not that lucky.
Plus 1.
8.
All right. And roll a d10, Cinna, to see what environment we have. I think it's pretty similar for both of you because you're both undead. So the modifiers will be very similar. 7 is a noxious swamp, so plus 2 to the white.
Plus 0.
And that's going to be the white that takes it, so Cinna takes it. So yeah. So, again, fast, really fast goes for you, because this is a game within a game. So I do like your idea, Dan, of having a separate deck like that. But again, the idea is a quick game of 4 cards. Should only take 5 minutes at most.
Yeah. If you're shooting for that, then no, that you would need to do a hour-ish, 45-minute-ish targeting timeline card game for that to work out.
Yeah, exactly. So
I don't know. I feel like with a game like this, you might design a session around it where you're trying, it might be like a rest week, and all the shopping takes 20 minutes, and maybe you're trying to chat people up in the tavern, you're trying to earn a little bit more money,
You need a filler.
Yeah, you need a filler, everyone gets to rest, and you can, it doesn't have to be a really long game, but you can run a couple at a time kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Where people can or your group can strategize when it's not their turn to be playing a match, because you can do a quick one, or you can do a long form for each one of them, and if it only takes a minute at the most, 2 minutes for each round at the most, you could fill up a whole session where they're each playing with somebody else, or they're each playing with an NPC, and either just playing to play, or playing to get some money to buy something nice, or trying to get some information out of somebody. Because when you play a card game, it's not necessarily about, sometimes it's not just about playing the card game. Sometimes you're talking during it, and a little bit of nuance and speaking between a thief and a mark,
Yeah.
or someone who's trying to get some info. So I think there is a little bit of potential for it to be like, okay, we're going to be doing this for the session, but while you're playing, like, do a little bit of role playing.
Yeah. So I'll try to figure out a way to add that into it, and I'm also, and that was the other thing was like this is mostly a one-on-one thing, and that's why I want it to be quick because I don't want the other players just like twiddling their thumbs while this is happening. You know what I mean? But I have dabbled in a multiplayer card game using this, and I'm still unsure of how it's going to work. I think it would be like a what do you call it? Duel, like in Pokemon, you'd have two Pokemon out against two other Pokemon. You know what I mean?
Like two-headed giant in Magic.
Yeah, exactly. So that could be another thing that would make it better, so that instead of just one person versus an NPC for 5 minutes taking up, it's not terrible for them to take up all that spotlight, but if it like it's a tournament or it's downtime or whatever, it could get annoying after a while, especially if one person like really enjoys the game but the others don't. That's the other thing. Like I want it to be quick so that it's just you play a game, you move on with a session. That was at least my vision for this, but I do like it. I like your inputs, absolutely. And we'll see what we can do. The very last thing, I am covering over the Tarask on the stream. It has a base attack of 31, and its special ability, it only has one special ability, and it's called Game Ender. Roll a d20. On a 7 or higher, you win the game.
That's like a card. That's like one of the that's like a Black Lotus. It's like banned from tournaments.
Yeah.
And it costs like $500 to buy it.
Yep, exactly.
And you just
I guess
use it
you
to
got an 8.
to clown on your friends.
But yeah, so I had a lot of fun with this. Hopefully I can make it a little bit better and join it into our games if people are interested. But other than that, that's really all that I have for tonight. So thank you all for... Yeah, go ahead.
I have one question before you.
Yes.
What's one moment you were like, in the current campaign where you're like, fuck these guys. Why'd they do this?
Barry.
That's it?
Barry.
Just Barry?
Barry
No,
was the
that's-
first one that came to my mind.
Yeah, it was a big one.
Honestly, with a lot of the stuff with Barry, I was like very surprised when you initially okayed it.
Yeah, because I read through that PDF and I was like, alright, man.
Yeah.
Because I didn't read through the PDF, but then like every time I found out about something that Barry did, I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah. I think I already nerfed him once, and I want to nerf him again, but I didn't want to be a dick and do it right before the BBEG battle. So, but the good thing is that...
BBEG.
What?
You just gotta buff the BBEG.
So the good thing is that Maylora has been spying on you guys for God knows how long. She knows all of your tricks, so she knows what to expect from all of you and how to counter all of you.
She knows the tricks that I've used so far.
I mean, she's expecting you to get naked, so...
Yeah. Not a good trick in battle.
All right, well, thank you guys so much for joining me. I am tired, and I am going to end the stream, so we will see you all next Monday. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.